Hi, folks. So at this point, we ought to discuss autism. My autism is only revealed when I have my treatment. Otherwise, I think, well, I'm a normal person. Like, why do you think you have a mental disorder? Because it's just your fault. It's your problem. It's your thing. However, my goodness, when I get my treatments, it's almost as if it's Clarence. He's a cat. When Mother, she developed rheumatoid arthritis late in her life, and she got an infusion, and then she felt great. It was like Shangri-La. This is how a person should feel. A person should have emotional and social intelligence, but when you don't, that's what you live with, and that's what I live with, because it could hurt your liver if you live with the remedy too much. I understand, folks. And at the same time, now I have autistic children. I understand, because it's not normal to be like Frank Costanza or Estelle Costanza. It isn't normal, folks. See how normal I sound now? Because I've been having an infusion. It's not overly toxic, but it is harmful to the liver, apparently. To be branded as a nerd, or like, oh, you're such a nerd. I was so smart because I had a great deal of fear in me, except with regard to math. I mean, math was like, math was a spoiler. Math always did me in. Unfortunately, I wasn't as smart as my mother. I don't know that my mother wasn't autistic. I know for sure my father was autistic, because he'd start to rant and rave like Hitler. He's like, blah, blah, blah. Why are you so upset? I have children with it. Why? But for me, that's normal. I grew up with that. It's like, when I was little, he told me, in fact, one time. Now, we're going to reiterate this. He said Mom had left me alone with him, and I was still just a little baby, unable to get out of my crib, and I was crying uncontrollably. He said, "Shut the fuck up." And so I did. He like laughed at that. It's like, that seems kind of cruel. Don't you think? I mean, that's like emotional and psychological abuse, but it did happen to me, so I don't know why, but it did. So, I mean, that's just true. I mean, he would tell you the same thing. He remembers that. Shut the fuck up. Have I ever been mean to people recently? I'm trying to like tamp it down a little bit. I certainly would never buy a gun. I mean, that would be kind of dumb, because I'd probably shoot like 57 people with my gun and think I was justified and righteous. They're justified. I mean, that's why I avoid guns like the plague. I have no reason to have anything to do with guns. I don't like violence. I don't like killing people. In fact, I really don't like anger. In fact, there was a bit of kerfuffle with the stray cat on my porch when I was waiting for the bus. An interminably long time when I lived out in the country, when I could have been raped and murdered at 8. But my parents left for work, and I was standing out there on the porch. But before I was on the porch, what did I do? I stood in front of the mirror. I knew how much time I had. I said, I had this shirt that was really a favorite of mine. It had like puffy sleeves. Somehow I thought it made me look like a judge. And I would stand in front of the mirror, and I'd point my finger at people. I'd just like, blah, 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 blah. Judge Judy, come on. What's wrong with you? And then I went out onto the porch, and then there's this cat trying to get into trying to create a sort of kerfuffle. A kerfuffle is a state of confusion. It's not necessarily a conflict. The cat would jump into the barrel. I'd dump the cat out the barrel. It's not like I abused the cat or hurt the cat, but the cat was really bothering me a lot. So, anyway, I eventually caught the bus, and people did rob our house. They stole the silver sterling Queen Elizabeth coin. For that, I can never forgive them. That was not right, because I used to look at that coin and I thought, wow, that's just a beautiful coin with a crown and hairdo, and it's sterling silver. It looks beautiful, but why do you steal things? I mean, why would you break? Come on, folks. Why would you do that? Why would you hurt people who have tried to help you? In a way, that's what I'm asking, but I'm not really sure. Well, we've been in your house before. We've seen all the nice things you have in your house, and we're gonna steal as many things as we can while we're there. And my poor dog, she was sort of a half-breed German Shepherd. She was cowering in the corner when I came home from school that day, and I thought, as a latchkey kid, they broke into the house, they scared my dog, and they stole a lot of jewelry and the Queen Elizabeth commemorative coin. What? The Queen? I mean, the Queen was, important to me. I mean, in a way, I remember that she was stolen, and you can't ever get her back when she's gone. She's never coming back. That's just too valuable. It's probably in the Netherlands right now, in a pawn shop. I don't think I could ever be a criminal because, I told you about this before, right? There was this little purple belt. We've already heard that before, Joyce. I know. But when I went to the babysitters, there was this platinum blonde child with beautiful tan skin. She was unnaturally tan with unnaturally blonde hair. And she and I fought over this little purple belt, which is actually like a parakeet toy or something. And she said, well, this is my belt. You'll never have it, because everybody was always older than me when I went to babysitters, and they were always trying to reign over me in a way. So one day I snuck it into my little pocket because I had fat little legs and nobody could hear the bell ringing because I'm a plump little girl. And you don't know, I stole the bell. I stole the bell from Ethel, didn't I? And then I returned it because I thought it was wrong to steal. Let the chips fall where they may. It's not right to just steal things, and just, even if you have a mean-spirited attitude, you're going to return the bell because it didn't belong to you in the first place. So, and there was another time when I was tempted to steal, when I was in 5th grade. And remember, I'm always a year behind because they told me, you need to go into kindergarten when you're 4 years old. You're 4 years old. Get out. Get the F out of my house. B. Yeah. That's why I was like, well, that way we don't have to pay for any more babysitters. So you go to school, you're intelligent enough. We've had your intelligence tests. It's fine. Get. Go. So, Robbie Krantz. What about Joseph Etzweiler? Do you think I might have actually gone to school with a Jewish person? I mean, that's very surprising. He said, I saw my mother in the shower naked. I'm like, what kind of a perv are you? So Robbie Krantz, he just acted like he's like all that. And he's like kind of a hefty kid. In a way, he's a bit hefty. Well, in a way, just like me now. And he brings in this blank book where you could fill in music notes, and I just lusted after that so much. And God told me, He said, if you start stealing now, you'll never stop stealing. He told that to me as a little girl. I might have been 8 years old, maybe 7 years old. And I thought, you're right. I don't want to be a person who, I was just really envious of him. I don't know why I was envious of that book that was like blank staffs. Like, you could be a great composer, Satan was whispering in my ear. I know I could be a great singer. I could be a great lyricist. I could be a great... But if that is not God's will, then perhaps I won't. That's... I know I seek God every day. And it's a bit muddled these days because I have chosen other options to hear from God, whether that's right or wrong, but I'm here trying to hear the voice of God. And God told me in no uncertain terms, if you steal that book, if you steal that book, you will become a thief. Basically, that's what He told me. So I decided to put it down and say, God, I was wrong. I don't lust after things. It's not that my parents couldn't afford it, but they just wouldn't buy it for me for whatever reason. So my parents had a lot of 8-track tapes. I was born in... I can tell you when I was born, but I'm not going to. We had 8-track tapes. The Letterman, Shangri-La. Shangri-La. I hoped that someday I would find my Elysium. Would that not be equivalent to Shangri-La? Thank you.